mentioned addiction earlier. Do you have any specific thoughts on that regarding this work, or was that just an example?
Well, I had mentioned that it's a form of fight, flight, and freeze. And I could give you an example of a client who had a food addiction. And then she attends Alcoholics Anonymous things and practices everything that program is about, which is an excellent program. What she found wasn't working for her was the constant telling to herself that she was an addict. Because labeling herself as an addict. Because what that was doing then was commanding herself to continue to be an addict. Now, at the beginning stages, to say, hey, and so for me, I put it in the I have practiced being an addict.
Addict behavior
is
maybe
different than I am an addict. It puts it in the past tense. And so she had really mastered her food addiction, right? So then she found herself 10 years later, okay? And her kids were now out of the nest, and she was home early from work, and it was 3 o'clock, okay? And she found herself with thoughts from her past where it's 3 o'clock, I'm alone now, I can eat some food. And those thoughts were delivered to her. And that's the interesting thing about our brains, because I can practice new thinking. It's not practiced in every compartment of my brain. And so I can receive old thoughts like that. Now, if I'm not aware that I'm not my brain, and all my brain is doing is noticing that it's 3 o'clock, in the past at 3 o'clock, I would have the thoughts and emotions about this, even if it was 10 or 20 years ago. So there's a difference when I'm looking at it instead of from it. And so she was able to pause and say, hey, that's not who I am right now. Who I am is this. And she could remind her brain, then her brain would no longer deliver those thoughts to her. Now, I mean, it's funny, because our brains are very simple-minded. And a really funny example is I'm practicing eating healthy. And I used to sit down in front of the television and have a bag of chips with me, right? So I have my bag of chips with me, and so then now I don't have them. My brain will notice that the bag of chips are not there. So it thinks I could be in danger, right? Or it wants me to be efficient and effective. And the chips have always been there, and I have performed really well watching TV in the past. So it will say, have some chips, have some chips. Now I'm practicing being healthy. Have some chips is out of alignment with the new me of being healthy. Because that's out of alignment, I could have a fight, flight, and freeze thought that I've practiced, which for me used to be self-criticism. I know better. I don't need chips. I don't have discipline. This isn't working. Better go get the chips. We have everyone's practiced their own. Yet all that's happening is, thanks for sharing.
And instead of must have chips, must have apple slices.
Yeah,
we need to replace that or reprogram it.
Whatever. And so we have these things. My brain's going to deliver stuff, and the more practiced at this I am, because I start having less and less thoughts, I'm present, and so then the only stuff that starts coming out is really old stuff. I mean, third grade types of things, really old stuff. I talk about it in the book that I call it the turkey pan effect. So it's like when we have turkey at Thanksgiving and it's all stuck at the side of the pan. That's the stuff that's left in there, and so then that's all my brain can find to deliver to me, and it can be almost funny. The stuff that it delivers and thinks that it applies in particular moments. So.
That is really interesting. So would you say that people need to once they've read the book and they've maybe attended a workshop or maybe some online support programs that you offer, will it take them a long time to get to the place where you are, or do you feel like if they get the concept that you can't kind of unknow it, you just start using it? And
well, I invite people always to choose one thing to practice, because there's so much, and we think about all of the thoughts that we have in all of the areas that it covers. I mean, every thought I have applies in every area of my life. So if I pick one thought to play with, the ripple effect from shifting that one thought is amazing. Now I have, working with CEOs or folks that are really, what do you call them when they're really wanting to accomplish everything that's possible, then I invite them to practice one a day. So they might practice one thought on every Monday, another one every Tuesday, another one every Wednesday, or one a week, or something like that. Then they're able to practice more. It's just I want to play with one of them so I can experience and really feel the difference that happens. Yeah.
Well, I know that you have a number of exercises and obviously in the book as well, and those have been really powerful to let people have a personal experience with the work. So maybe if you're interested, I'll invite you in another video to lead us through one or two of those.
I provide tools for folks in whatever style works for them. And there are some that like to go at things very gradually, and there's ones that like to go gung-ho and all of that, and some like to read it, and some like to listen and watch, so I provide it in ways that are comfortable for however anyone wants to move forward in it. And to me, it doesn't matter how long it takes.
We're in the instant gratification generation, right? They want to have an experience and then immediately feel like they're progressing. And so I know some of these exercises can help them feel like they're on the right path.
Yeah, and when I practice that one thing, I do get the gratification of it. Yeah.
And I know that the people who are conscious of your work have definitely given you lots of testimonials about the power of it.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to do is I'd like to keep track of you through the Glow Living website and allow people to purchase the book from the site as well, and also some of the other learning materials and programs that you have available. So we'd like to just continue the conversation as you develop new work, and we can start talking about vision work and all these new things, new tools available to people.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I'm so excited about the work that you're doing, and you're a living example of somebody that said to yourself, "Hey, it's time for the next vision, and how can I be of highest service? What can I do that really brings me joy and passion and be of service to many others?" And that's what you're creating with Glow Living. So I'm very excited about that.
Thank you. It's certainly true, and I can tell you that the thoughts that come in doing that, can deliver fight, flight, and freeze thoughts. And I want to keep going with this because it is true that I feel like it serves a much higher purpose than any work that I've ever done. I know we can keep talking forever, so we'll continue the conversation in future videos.
Yes.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.